Makeup Revolution has come out with 7 new shades in their Pout Bomb line. These are their kind of like plumping lip glosses. Not painful plumping, but kind of like minty plumping lip glosses. And they have come out with 7 very fall appropriate shades. And I thought it would be fun to test them out together. I'm gonna swatch all the shades. I'm gonna share my thoughts. Let's get into it. Alright, I'm first gonna give you a little overview of all of the colors, like all of them together. But there's also gonna be a hand swatch with all of these colors together with the lip swatch. So you can really see like the differences, but also the individual shades. These shades all seem very like nicely autumn cozy muted shades, but we also have some cherry, which I'm very excited about. I feel like this is a really like good range of tones. I'm really excited to test these out on my lips and see how they look. So let's take off this lip. Okay, so there's not really like an order in these. There's not really like an order here that makes sense. They just have names. The first shade that I have here is the one in Milky Sheer Holo. I don't see any holo in here. I just think it's meant to be kind of like a sheer, shiny, kind of like slightly shimmery lip gloss. This one actually looks like a color that I would really appreciate. If you're not familiar with these, they do have quite a big doe foot applicator. I quite like the packaging of these. They do feel quite like good quality. They do feel pretty sturdy, like not too light or cheapy. So let's try this one out. It smells really like sweet, a little like cupcake, bakery. But yeah, you definitely feel kind of like that minty sensation. It smells very sweet, but then the sensation is really like minty, like toothpaste mint-esque. Like it doesn't have any stinging sensation in it. I know a lot of people don't like that. I do really like the color of it. It's like a really sheer pink. And I don't really see like shimmer in it. It's just really like this very light sheer color that is gonna be really easy to throw on with no makeup looks as well, or just top over another lip product. The feel of these on the lips is really nice. It's very comfortable. It's a really like plush feeling. It looks really good. I really like this first shade. Then next up we have a shade I'm really excited about. This is the one in Cherry Sheer Red. I love a sheer red lip gloss. I think it's so flattering. I think it's so fun and beautiful. And I'm really looking forward to this. I feel like it's also fun to see kind of like these cherry shades in fall. Like it's not as typical. This looks really nice. This is a beautiful kind of sheer pinky red. It definitely has that pink undertone that really comes forward when you have kind of like a lighter layer of this gloss. Also, like your lip color is gonna shine through a little bit because this is a very jelly lip. It's a very jelly consistency. I do think this is really beautiful. I really like the color of this. I think it's gonna be a really fun shade all year round. It is definitely also one that I would throw on like in the spring and summer. I think this is just a really fun color. Alright, then the type of shade that I'm usually really a fan of is this kind of like pinky mauve, muted mauve. And this is shade Rosewood Rose Pink. And this one seems to have like the teeniest, tiniest golden shimmers. I'm guessing you're not really gonna see this on the lips. This is a perfect fall shade for me because this is... it's covered in cat hairs because this is like the muted version of what I usually like to wear. I like kind of like these pinky shades, and this is just with a little bit more of a hint of brown, a little darker than my lip color. It looks really beautiful. This one is pretty pigmented. Like it's not as sheer as the first two for sure. Yeah, this pigment is pretty full on. I would definitely wear this with a little bit of a lip liner. I think that would be best. I think I'd be a little scared of this going everywhere. Like it's not a like 100% opaque lip gloss, but it is pretty opaque. It's pretty pigmented. I think a slight bit of shimmer in here is really cute. I really love this color. Like this so far might be my favorite color. I think this is really beautiful. I think it's looking really nice, shiny and smooth. I can definitely see myself wearing these with many different types of autumn looks. Then next up we have this kind of like rosy shade, but more of a warm rose. This one is called Melba Warm Peach. And this definitely looks a little bit like a very soft bricky red. A very interesting color. Also one that I think a lot of people are gonna want to wear this season. Like it's a really nice kind of like different take on a terracotta because it does have that rosiness in it. I really smell like the sweetness with this one. I feel like with a lot of lip ranges, there is a difference in how the actual like scent in it will work with the particular color. Like it happens a lot that the scent is not exactly the same in different shades. This is such a beautiful color. Really nice. Ooh, I really like this one. It seems a little bit less full on pigment than the one we saw before this one. I think this is such a beautiful color. It's really like this rosy shade, but it's definitely more of a warm rose. It is just only slightly pinky. I feel like this looks so nice on the lips. This is such a beautiful color once again. I don't know if I would really call it peach, but it is stunning. Okay, one that I'm a little bit afraid of, but that I also know I'm gonna be able to give to someone if it's a little too dark for me, is the shade Jelly Berry Mauve. And this looks really dark, but it's also described as a jelly, so it could still work. It really depends on how jelly, how sheer this actually is. Like full on pigment like this, it looks a little scary, but it also looks like it would have kind of like a cooler undertone. So let's see how this looks on the lips. Oh, that's really nice. That is actually very jelly. Like that's not that scary at all. Look at the tube and look at my lips. Like this is pretty wearable. And it has a little bit of a purple undertone, which I like. That is really beautiful. I think if you want this to look a little bit more like full on pigment, you can just take a little bit of a like berry or similar color lip liner and then use this together with that, and it's gonna look a little bit more impactful. Now it looks pretty natural, which I like. Like this is one that I would personally wear without a lip liner to make it look a little bit more soft. I do feel like this is the one that emphasizes my lip lines the most, but it's like very, very slight. It's not really something that bothers me. It's just, I can see them, but it's not like really gathering too much in them. But it's also something that happens a lot with very like dark shades. Even if it's more sheer, that just sometimes happens. But I think for the shade that this is looking really nice. Okay, this one could be really interesting. I hope this is gonna look good on me. This is the one in Espresso Cool Nude, and it looks like a really cool tone brown. It is gonna be sheer. Like this is gonna be so cool for fall. I do like these types of colors, but it kind of depends on how like the formula works out. Is it gonna be more sheer? Is it gonna be more full on? That looks pretty pigmented. Ooh, let's see if I can sheer it out a little bit. It's a really cool shade though. Alright, this one is really interesting. I feel like this is definitely a shade that you can sheer out a little bit. Now I have it on pretty full on. You do really see that cool tone brown. It does give you kind of like those espresso lips. I think I would wear kind of like a lighter lip pencil with this and then take less of this and kind of like blend it out more. But I think this will look so beautiful on kind of like deeper skin tones or people with a little bit more contrast. Like this is not too scary. I just feel like it's a little much right now on me. Maybe it's also in combination with the eye look. But actually just for the color that it is, this is really beautiful. I can really see myself like combining this with different things. Like this didn't end up looking like patchy, which sometimes happens with these types of shades. So I'm actually pretty excited about this espresso shade. The last one I think is gonna be so good. This is Wild Mauve Pink. And this one is a little bit more cool toned than this one, I think. Like this one is a little bit more almost purpley in undertone. This one is a little bit more pinky, and that one was a Rosewood. This is the most cool toned like mauve shade in this range. I think this is gonna be really beautiful. It once again has a slight shimmer in it, but with none of these I felt like the shimmer was really visible on the lips. And yeah, I am just a fan of pinky tones. This is pretty close to my lip color, but it's just a little deeper. It is more glossy, has quite a bit of pigment. That is such a beautiful tone. I'm just gonna apply this like in one dip. This is a really nice color. I don't feel like it looks super cool tone on me right now. Like it looks more kind of like my lip color, like this neutralish pink. I could really see myself wearing this quite a bit. Like, this is such a good My Lips But Better shade. You don't really see the shimmer in it. You just see that shine. Once again, this is a pretty pigmented one. Like, keep that in mind. Like, some people like their glosses a little bit more sheer. Some like them a little bit more pigmented. Like, this could be a full-on lip look. Even on its own, even like this, but also with just a little bit of a lip liner, you're good to go. Like, this gives a lot of pigment, a lot of impact, a lot of color to your look. And yeah, this is gonna be the last shade. We did our 7 shades. Which one is your favorite? I think it's gonna be really hard to choose. I like most of these colors, actually. I like all of them. I think this might be my favorite, but it also really depends on the mood that I'm in. I think all of these could easily go into my fall lip rotation. That's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.